Hello YouTube, it's Argentino, and today we're going to be looking at the Champions League round of 16 draw. Let's get into it. Right, 16 teams left in Europe's best club competition. And wow, these are some really good 16 teams. The draw was made earlier today, so today we're going to be looking at the matchups that will be happening in February, and we're going to see, I'm going to tell you my predictions and what I think will happen. So I'm going to be using the Champions League website because it gives some further information that I wouldn't find in other places. First match that was drawn was Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City. It's hard not to give it to Man City just because of the previous showings of Borussia Mönchengladbach. This is kind of interesting what it says. They're campaign in 10 words. Goals come too easily for a side who play without fear, which they're in a position that they don't have much to lose, right? They were like, we'll get as far as we can. Just getting to this part is good for our team, but getting further is amazing. So we're going to be playing full football, going all for it. And I think that a little bit less pressure and play with more freedom, play with more like, we can do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I think will really help them, right, in this matchup. If we're looking at Manchester City, they're completely opposite, right? They have the pressure, again, of Pep Guardiola, of like, you need to win. Right here it says who's in charge. Pep Guardiola, who has 11 seasons as the first team boss, has lifted 8 league titles, which is so impressive, right? But the last 2 Champions League winners medals came in 2011. That's literally 9 years ago. The Champions League is what he was brought into. Manchester City has won the Premier League many times before, but they've never been able to get this cup, and he was brought for this occasion. So definitely pressures on Man City. I think they're going to be able to get through it, but it's not going to be an easy matchup. Mönchengladbach will be coming hard and have shown that they can battle against the best. So I'll give it to Man City in 2 legs. I would say like 5-2 on aggregate on Manchester City's side, but I could see an upset here, but this is one of the games that I would say it's more leaning towards Manchester City. The next matchup is Lazio versus Bayern Munich. I can't see them giving Bayern Munich a good fight. Immobile can make the difference in this game, maybe with Correa in the middle, but like, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to give Lazio. Again, this is also another one-sided match that I think is in this round. Bayern Munich has so much depth, and they're not facing like too many injuries like Liverpool or some of the other teams, and their form is not as bad as like the other top teams like Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain. So yeah, I can see Bayern Munich like being favorites again, like I said previously in this competition. And this match, I think they're very, very favorite to go through. So I actually think it will be like crazy, like 6-1 or something ridiculously on aggregate for the both games. Just because Bayern Munich, especially if they're able to get the fans in by February, I don't think Lazio will be able to have a chance. So this is where things start becoming interesting. Next match is Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. Ooh, this one is good. Atletico Madrid recently have had a good Champions League form. Right here you can see that in 2014, 2016, they came second to Real Madrid. And just last year, they lost to quarterfinals against Leipzig, which I will say they just weren't up for it for that match. And like, I mean, that was after they were able to beat Liverpool, right, and knock them out. So Atletico Madrid I feel like they're not super consistent in this competition. They should sometimes show up and sometimes they don't. Chelsea. Winners 2012. They only win. But last year they were at least able to make it through round 16 and just lost to the champions, right? I really like the depth of Chelsea. I do believe that they can have different styles with Werner, Abraham, Giroud, Harvard, Ziyech, just a lot there. Pulisic on the side. I do believe winger-wise, they're a little bit short. Like, I know Pulisic didn't play because of injuries this weekend, and he hasn't been playing much. And other than that, they're missing a lot of pace. Maybe Ziyech and Harvard can like play more passing, but not like a pacey, give a different dimension. Werner tries that, but he's more of like a center forward kind of player, right? And against Atletico Madrid, I think wingers are gonna be very important, right? So like if Chelsea buy like a really good winger, I think it does favor them more, because Atletico Madrid really likes to sit really deep and really compact. So if you don't have the wingers to able to go one-on-one with the right back and left back, I think they're gonna have a difficulty breaking this Atletico Madrid side. My guess is gonna be a very cagey game, but I'm gonna give it to Atletico Madrid. I believe they're gonna be able to fight it out and maybe get the goal in that they need and defense really well. And I believe Chelsea's still not fully attacking side yet. Won't be able to break them as much as they would want to, and yeah, won't be able to score that goal. So I'll give it to Atletico Madrid. I think they're gonna win like 2-1 on aggregate, or like 3-2. But yeah, I'll give it to Atletico Madrid. All right, next match: Leipzig versus Liverpool. Ooh. Leipzig showed how like they're not a team that you can just throw away. They're fighting. Missing Werner is definitely a big miss, but they have teammates to make it up. Their defense is really solid, and their attacking side, they have an identity which is quite good, really good. Definitely like dark horses in their group. It's gonna be a good match, I believe. Liverpool, I would say they would be favorites if they didn't have injuries, right? They keep losing players in the depth. Their defense is all over the place. I mean, if you're looking right now, Van Dijk, Gomez, Spinach is just a big hurt right there. Firmino is covering really well, and Matip is showing up a bit, but I don't know. I think that could really hurt them against a really attacking side like Leipzig. I still believe that Klopp is going to be able to manage his players really well, and is going to be able to rest them before these key games, because he knows what happened last year, right? Against Atletico. I guess he was unlucky and such, but I definitely believe that he's going to go much more intense in this Champions League match, and he's going to be able to win. So I'm going to give this to Liverpool and say they win by 4-2. Next one is Porto versus Juventus. I really like Porto, right? A Portuguese club, just somebody from another league that's like ready here to fight. But Juventus just has so much experience in this competition. It's kind of hard to give it to Porto. I do hope the Colombians do a good showing. Diaz scores a goal, Uribe covers the midfield, but I think for them it's just gonna be a hope that like maybe Pepe in the pack will like help them out with a little bit of experience there, but it's just gonna be a little bit too hard for them. Hopefully they'll go with the mentality that like we can win this, let's go all for it, like we can do it, rather than like, ooh, we're really scared about Ronaldo and Juventus. Let's sit back and maybe try to play a counter, because that could really hurt them, especially like a really good Juventus side. You can't discount Ronaldo. That can just change the game because of his accuracy. If you give him the ball in the box, he's just gonna score a lot of times, and just having that player to score that goal that really can change the game is, I mean, really good for Juventus. I mean, that's why they bought him here. So I'm gonna give this to Juventus, and I'm gonna say it's 5-1 on aggregate. All right, so now we're gonna get into the biggest match of the draw: Barcelona versus Paris Saint-Germain. I do feel like Paris Saint-Germain has shown previous history of like how much difficulty they have against big clubs. I can definitely see Paris coming with a really strong performance, especially Neymar being on that side. If he has a really good game with Mbappe, it's gonna be ugly for Barcelona. Barcelona really bad form. I could see them then getting better. I mean, there have been seasons before they start really badly, they start picking up, and then they do well. And the Champions League is a competition they always seem like to have a couple of good games in, even if they lose badly, like last year. It's hard to give it to Barcelona at this current point. It doesn't seem like they're getting any better, and Messi is in a really bad form, and he's just not showing up for the games as he used to. I'm a huge Barca fan, but it's a really bad form, and this season just hope to keep head above water. Hopefully get into the Champions League spots for next year and just write it off as just a transition phase, and hopefully after that we'll get a new manager, maybe Xavi or something completely different, and I'm just don't have high hopes that they're just gonna get far in this competition at all. I can see Barca's defense really hurting them in this competition and just not be able to go against those two teams, especially since Neymar kind of knows them. So I'm gonna give it to Paris Saint-Germain, but I do believe it's gonna be like a 4-3 or a 5-3. Like it's gonna be a high-scoring match, and I think a couple of goals is gonna make the difference. We're down to our last two games. First one is Sevilla versus Dortmund, which I really like how close this match could be. I kind of dislike that this feels like a Europa League match just because of Dortmund's recent recent Europe form, and Sevilla always been like a really good Europa League team. Last year they qualified winning the Europa League and their best European Cup title. They made to quarterfinals as 18. That's pretty cool. Lopetegui has really been able to improve the Sevilla team. The Sevilla team is actually quite good in Europe, but they've had their weaknesses in the league, and I can't see them going far. I just definitely can't see them going far. Dortmund is also another team that hasn't been able to click so much in the league. I've seen Erling Haaland play, and he's good. He's the future. Like, it's crazy how his movement and just how he scores, it makes it seem so easy. Sevilla, I like their grit and their fight, and they're like Benega in the middle, like their nastiness. Like, it's good. Jesus Nava is really good there. Experienced Sevilla versus a young, free-flowing Dortmund. But I'm gonna give it to Dortmund just because they're a little bit more free-flowing, and if Haaland has a good game or Sancho be able to break through, I think they're gonna be able to win this one. I don't think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. I think this is gonna be a really tight game, and I'm gonna give it to Dortmund 3-1 on aggregate. Last match, Atalanta versus Real Madrid. This is not the Atalanta of last year, right? They have the same team, but they just don't have the same free-flowing, everybody scoring mentality that they had last year. It just seemed so easy last year to the end of the season, while now it just kind of seems like they're like grinding some of the results out. It's tough. I really wish I could give it to Atalanta, but I haven't been convinced with any of their games, right? Like, they'll have some good games, but then the attack side can't break through defense. Real Madrid, on the other hand, it's a huge difference having Sergio Ramos back, their captain. The match against Atletico Madrid just showed how like really well stood the defense is. They're really inconsistent. I don't think the attacking was, it kind of hurts them. But Hazard, he should be able to be good, but like he always gets injured. There's Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, who are like sometimes amazing, sometimes just disappear the game. Benzema's amazing. I think Benzema is really good as number 9. I mean, he's really good at dropping back, kind of like a Kane, and just passing the ball. How Kane evolved, I think Benzema has evolved similarly. I'll definitely give this to Real Madrid. I think Atalanta, if they were the attacking side everybody believes them to be, I think they could give Real Madrid a fight. But I do believe Real Madrid, just like against Atletico Madrid, will be able to stand, and the defense of Varane, Carvajal, Mendy, and Sergio Ramos will be able to stop that Atalanta side. Good Casemiro standing right in front, and I don't think Gomez will be able to get any passes through. Zapata won't be able to muscle any of those people off. So I'll give this one to Real Madrid 5-2 on aggregate. So those were my Champions League draw predictions. What do you guys think? Comment below if you think I was really off in one thing, or you believe that match will go the other way. You really think that Barcelona can do it, or like maybe Atalanta could give Real Madrid a surprise, or just that maybe Liverpool is just much better than Leipzig. If you guys think otherwise, comment below and let's have a conversation there. I'm excited to compare my predictions to after the round of 16 and see how off I was. But yeah, click the like button if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and yeah, let's have a conversation about this. Thanks for watching.